Hello. We're talking today about meditation, and meditation is absolutely indispensable to people who want to keep a balance between their inner life and a hectic outer life or hectic schedule. I mean, it's invaluable to anybody, and people who've meditated at all, whether they're very experienced or whether they've only just dipped into meditation. I've heard very few people not praise the state of meditation. And there are different states within meditation, obviously, and different ways to reach meditative states. And that's not the purpose of this pod today. The uses of meditation range from, relaxation right out to literally changing state in either physically or mentally or emotionally. And it's only in the alpha state, which is another name for the meditational state, that the greatest transformation of energy and upgrading of frequency within human energetics is possible. So whatever you're trying to change and whatever you're trying to accomplish and whatever you're trying to do relies on your frequency or your vibration, and that is best controlled, at least first off, in a state of meditation. Because in actual fact, meditation takes us beyond time. It takes us away from the chronological framework, which is our usual awareness of time, put it that way. And it's when we're out of this sense of structure, which is time, or which we know as time, that we're actually at our freest. And it's in this freest state or awareness of being that our greatest aspirations come, because aspiration is the forerunner to transformation, or transformation has within it or is within some greater aspiration. And often it's when we want to transform a part of our life, we want to get away from something, so we want to change something, and in wanting to change something we don't necessarily know where that change will take us. So we start a process of transformation and we don't know how that transformation will widen, and but our awareness does widen. Our deeper sense of connectedness from self to something higher deepens and widens, and it's then that we are open to the best of our aspirations. Wouldn't you say that, Joe?
I think what you need to do is learn to let go of past experiences that you don't want to keep. I think if you want to aspire forwards, then what is behind you has got to be let go of, as it were.
But in the alpha state, in the meditational state, this is why I'm expressing it as beyond time, because beyond time there is not necessarily a past, present and a future, and it's easier at that stage to let go.
Oh yeah, but when you're in that alpha state, it's easier to let go of that emotional baggage or the trauma that you may have, or an illness that you may have.
Or anything.
Or anything you don't
Any
want.
negative state.
Completely, yeah. It's the keys to connecting with everything that's around you.
Because it's true to say that whilst we exist at a very mundane level, our frequency is at a lower vibration. Our vibrational frequency is lower. We can't go round in a very heightened frequency all the time, although there are certain belief systems that advocate being able to sort of enter into a meditative state with open eyes, etc., rather than sitting in the lotus position or, in a very deep almost subconscious state, but to walk around in a being mindful, having a state of awareness which is still meditative. But even so, that frequency that can be reached in meditation, via meditation, is automatically a connection to a much greater charge, a much greater, more potent force. And in a way, it's true to say that is not convivial or not conducive to 80% of our daily life. It would just be impossible to vibrate at that rate while doing a lot of what we have to do on a day-to-day basis. So the contrast is stark, the contrast is sharp when you have a good meditation, and you by no means guaranteed a great meditation every time you meditate, but people who meditate frequently find that most meditations are beneficial, but some meditations are just absolutely mind-blowing in the connection you make. And to make that connection every day, all day, would be an impossibility. So that frequency, again, it's a question of frequency, is definitely something which is it's time out, or it's out of time, or it's a third sort of time, if you like.
Yeah, I think a lot of people may struggle to meditate purely because of the environment they live in.
Yeah, but that's why meditation is so necessary, because of the environment we live in, and you can learn to just kind of go into that altered state more quickly.
Oh yeah, but you're isolated within that state. And what I'm saying is...
Isolated within that state?
Yeah, well, you go into alpha state and you're not really connecting to anything because...
No, but that's the whole idea, surely.
Well, when you meditate,
yeah,
you connect to the earth. Now, if you wear shoes,
yeah,
you've instantly disconnected yourself from the earth, which is very conductive, which is the relation to the electric universe.
So what are you saying? Because we do have to wear shoes.
Oh yeah, we do have to wear shoes, but if you find that you're ill or anything like that,
mm-hmm.
the thing you should do is go to the beach, take your socks and shoes off, and just walk along the sand. And
what if you can't get to the beach?
Well, anything that's the earth. The earth itself is the one. Well, the one reason why we don't live in an unhealthy environment.
Okay, I mean, I meditate a lot, and I just love it. And I know it's more difficult for some people to meditate than others. But, just to kind of sit and stare at the fire or go into any sort of cognitive state is meditation.
The fire is plasma. It's the first state of matter. So.
Yeah, but yes. And what I was really using that just as an example, but I mean, as a metaphor. But actually, I've used it rightly, because it might be that some people... would benefit from meditating in front of an open fire or staring at a candle flame.
Well, everyone should meditate.
Everyone should meditate, but what I'm saying is that you can get too precious about meditation.
Yeah.
It is simply a route or a road or a vehicle to a deeper sense of self, and the key is within that connection of self to something higher is definitely within. So when you're asleep and out of body, you're beyond time in an astral state. And when you're meditating at a very deep level, you're also beyond time. And what I'm really trying to get across is that it's in that state beyond time, where you are at your freest, that you don't recognise restrictions. And so the focus and the focus of aspiration, an intention from that aspiration, gives you a sense of not just the possibility of transformation, but the actual modus operandi of transformation, or the actual process of transformation happening or beginning to happen for you.
Yeah, the more you do it, the more you find it easy, and the more you want to do it.
Because it's a frequency. I do think it's a frequency.
Well, you find yourself. Things make sense.
Yeah.
You look at the TV or you get involved in the world. It makes sense. And then once you start to meditate, you're very calm, and you can just see that everything around you is just crap, basically. It gives you a good realisation state. Really,
I think meditation should be taught in schools.
Yes, definitely.
It's what they teach, just such utter bilge in most educational establishments. I mean, apart from, useful things like language and numbers, everything else is quite superfluous once people can communicate both with other people and with higher states and with the deeper state within.
And I think if everyone did meditate for a long time and the paradigm shifted towards a meditative society, language would be irrelevant.
Well,
I really do think this.
Really?
Telepathy becomes something that is normal.
I think telepathy and what used to be known as ESP, extrasensory perception, there's no such thing as extra, it's just natural sensory perception. I'm advocating meditation as a purely autonomous vehicle, which actually then changes the way people feel about themselves, their self-worth, their self-esteem, which automatically then changes the way they deal with other people in the world. But I'm primarily talking about meditation as giving people a sense of being connected to something higher in this world, in this universe. The continuum, if you like, the higher self, the sense of being part of a greater plan rather than being just at the mercy of a greater plan.
Oh, yeah.
At the end of the day.
This is the paradigm we live in.
Yeah, but meditation is that only thing which is really about your personal connection between yourself, your God, your higher forces, and the sense of oneness that you might otherwise lack in terms of being part of everything there is. But having said that, we're on earth for a reason, and once you have that connection to being part of everything there is, the aspirations you receive, or the some people will call them revelations, the ideas that you receive become greater because you then can serve the world you live in a better way, because we don't act alone, we don't think alone. But to think at our best, I think we need to still thought and let deeper thought come, and I think, or deeper knowledge come, and I think that only happens through meditation.
Yeah, things just come to you, just flow. It's like a flow, and
it is
like a river.
It is.
You're not umming and ahhing.
And sometimes aspiration comes to you a few hours after you've meditated, because what you've done is created a space
that allows.
That allows the connection, the channel, if you like, to speak to you, because we all are intuitive, if in some sense or another, in that our instinct to reach out to something higher is within all of us. If it's not knocked out of us, or if it's not twisted into something malignant like fear, via fear and control. And I think it's only in the meditational state that we can go beyond fear as well. We can actually go beyond our fears, because it's not necessarily conquering the fear, it's knowing that what lies beyond the fear.
What fear is.
Yeah, is the fear of fear itself. So it's knowing that what lies beyond the fear is far superior to that emotion that we know of as fear. And I think people begin that process by focusing. And any kind of focus is really meditation. Any kind of focus. Whether you're riding a bike and really concentrating on the road ahead and with your mind quite free or uncluttered, or whether you're staring at this flame, this fire.
Zone.
Yeah, it is going into a zone, and that is really a meditative state. And I think that the more people that meditate, the better.
And once you break free from all the fears of society, you can start focusing on yourself, and which empowers you to see things differently, and you can move forward in your life.
Yes, I mean, this is the freedom state I'm talking about. It's not that somebody pronounces it and says, right now you're free, like
No,
like some priest with pronouncing a blessing. No. It's that you experience it for yourself. It is a state of being. It's a sudden state of being in which things cease to matter. And that the realisation of that is so great you can't deny it. Now, when you might not bring it back with you, but once you've gone through it, you know it's there. And so it gives you a different perspective on the things that mattered too much, if you see what I mean. So you bring something back from it.
Yeah, just taking part in it.
And the more you meditate, the more the realisation of it is there. In an electric universe, it's obvious that meditation is going to be very potent and as a tool of enhancement. So thank you, and we hope you'll join us next time on the Electric Universe podcasts.